Sorry, so one thing I forgot to show, and I'll make a short video of this that I'll add as a last additional little short video. I forgot to show how to do the bay window. So what I would do, let me just see how they drew it here. I would treat this, in concept, the way I would treat this is 3 small windows. Okay, so you've got a window that goes vertically from there to there. You're going to have some kind of triangular or random piece that transitions, you know, that negotiates the angle. You've got another window that does the angle, and then a mirror image of it on the other side. And that's how most bay windows are constructed, unless you get like a prefab 1 unit of a bay window. Usually a bay window is 3 separate windows just put into place. So I think what we could do is we can start just here. Let me switch my layers, glazing. So I'd start here and I'd go at negative 150 comma negative 50. So I'm just drawing a frame of a window, just like all the other frames. So it's no different than the previous window. And then to save time, rather than drawing all of that again, maybe what I'll do is I'll just copy this inside part. Like that. Kind of trim it up, make it look nice. So now I have a vertical window here, and I'd like to create another window here. So I think what I'll do, and hopefully this works out, let me copy this. And I'll just try to rotate it 45 degrees. I know it's too long, but I'm just going to see what that does for me. Okay, now this line is kind of getting in the way, so I'm going to take a liberty and just delete that. Now I'm just going to delete that as well, and I'm going to mirror it. Whatever decisions I've already made up here, I may as well, if I've decided to live with it, I may as well mirror it. There's no point drawing the same thing twice if I don't have to. Now the problem I'm kind of encountering here is that this doesn't really fit in. If you know what, I'll show you what I mean. So if I grab my whole window, or all of the windows, all 3 I guess, and I move them inwards, this is overlapping my wall a bit. So I think what I can do is I can shorten this. I still have that option. So I'm going to grab these squares, just going to move them up like that. And clean it up a little bit. And now that I've done that, I can delete the other side and just mirror what I've done from one side to the other. That way I don't have to remember, you know, oh, what did I do on one side versus the other side. I just know that both sides are identical because I mirrored it again. And now we've got these windows positioned approximately, and we can see here that the detail they use, basically they put a whole bunch of wood pieces, it's called wood blocking, to frame out the window. And we just have a little line here that indicates they would have some flashing or bent piece of metal to close it from the outside. And we can go even simpler than that. So what we can show, and this is how I would show it. Sorry, they do want you to show, by the way, the framing in the walls. So they do seem to want, what's going on here? Why can't I zoom in? Oh, that's the maximum. Okay. They do want you to show double, I don't know why they have a triple here, but double 2x6s as the framing in the wall, so you're showing how you would frame this. So double 2x6 there. So just to show you how I would do that, I guess I would show wall exterior. Okay, so I'd show the two 2x6s, and then they are connecting that to this. So maybe we move it in. Yeah, their window frame starts a little bit inside of the brick, so we can move, we don't have to change anything, but we can move our window a bit further in, and I'll show you what I mean. So their corner seems to start somewhere here. And so what I could do is say something like, let's extend this line to there, maybe this line to here. Now I can trace over it with my wall layer. Oops, I messed that up. And I can just show this as blocking. Just kind of put an X through it. You know what, on second thought, maybe not. I don't know if that's... You could do it that way, but they've done a slightly more elaborate way of showing the blocking, so we may as well copy that. I messed this up over here. I'm just going to get this in place. So I think what they're showing is two 2x4s and then a little piece of blocking. So what I can do is come in here and offset this by 38. And offset this by 89, and that's my 2x4. So I'm just going to trace the outline of it now. I can delete the extra bits. Draw an X through it. And then here with this triangle, whatever shape you end up with at the end, if it's an irrational shape, you can just kind of outline it like that, and we'll call it wood blocking. And so same thing now, I would mirror it to the other side. Okay, over the center line. So that, whoops, I missed a line. That we have. They have a little bit of bent metal here, they're indicating right there. So we can draw something like that if we want. Whatever, you can eyeball it. It doesn't have a dimension assigned to it. So really you're just showing that there's flashing there. Again, I'm going to mirror it so I don't have to redo it on the other side. It's identical. And now for these parts, I'm just going to close that with a line. And I'm going to say that's a piece of flashing that negotiates that curve, that transition. And for the very last bit that I need to do, they have a sill. And so I'm going to guess they're offsetting by 100, right? I could be wrong, could be 150, but I'm going to guess 100. And so I'll draw a polyline, which is kind of one line over top of this, and then I'm going to offset it by 100 and close up the difference. Like so. And then from here I can just square it and trim. Mirror it to the other side. And I think that's what they have, approximately. Well, they have a straight edge here. So they squared up this corner differently. It doesn't matter. You can do it the way they did, or I did it. And that's how you could do this bay window. So I'll upload that as well, so you have every sort of click at your disposal if you need it.